In 1983, an album was released that, at least to me at first, went completely under the radar. I didn't notice it until I think about a year later or so. Um, I-10's Taking a Cold Look, which is a studio project led by Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly, two of LA's finest songwriters at the time. And it was also partly written by Steve Lukather, who also partly produced the album, Steve Lukather of Toto. And there are so many, I mean, there are 10 songs on the album, and not one of them is bad. Really, not. Um, there are a couple of songs that stand out and was later covered by others. One of them is Alone, which was covered by Heart, and they made it a huge hit. Although I do prefer the original version, actually. Heart did a great job, but this version on this album is better. And also the title track, Taking a Cold Look, was later covered by Canadian rockers Honeymoon Suite. And again, I must say I prefer the original version. Yeah, I listened to this back in the 80s and 90s when I had vinyls, and then I sold my vinyls and forgot about the album until it was released on CD in the early 2000s. Then I rediscovered it, and back then it was the early days of the internet, and I was in a social media group where we discussed Toto and West Coast music and LA session music at the time, and I knew Steve Lukather was there in the group, and he kindly responded to me when I appraised this album and said, this is a great album, and he thanked me for remembering. Now, 20 years later, I have rediscovered it again on vinyl. Oddly enough, I had this on vinyl back in the day, and now I've rebought it. I guess that's the way it goes, full circle. And I must say, I'm once again really enjoying the album. There are 10 really great songs. It's LA's finest musicians at the time, LA's finest producers. It's really a great project. It sounds great. It doesn't sound dated. Even today, there are a couple of songs. They have the classic 80s vibe, 80s instruments that you wouldn't use in this day and age. But still, it's a great album. It doesn't. The production per se does not sound dated. Certainly not. This is a great recommendation from me. I-10's Taking a Cold Look. Look it up. Find it. Go find it in your local vinyl vintage store.